All right, all right, all right. What up, everybody? It's what up, everybody? It's Tuesday, August. Um, take two. Take two. What up, everybody? Welcome back to the Ray Ochoa Sports Show. It is August 5th, 8:47 a.m. in the morning on a Tuesday. I just want to know how everybody's doing today. We hope you are having a great morning so far. We hope that you woke up with the utmost thankfulness in your heart. Oh, but yeah, we're back to the topic at hand. We were just discussing the EA Sports. Man, got some food in my teeth. We were discussing the EA Sports update, the major, huge, magnum title update for EA Sports College Football 26. And right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over some of those changes. And while we're doing that, I'm going to get some practice in on the practice field because no longer will you see some of those plays that were exploitive and causing you to rage quit. We will glance on to some big time plays and big time formation blocking engagements. I will go over all the things that have claimed to be adjusted, fixed, removed, and added to NCAA football, college football 26. This is a big time announcement. This is magnum. This is massive. This is whatever you call huge. It's almost like Christmas. I ain't going to really say Christmas. It's almost like Christmas Eve. You know, football season starting. You know, football's going to be back on TV. College football, high school football starting up. NFL camps are closing. Preseason games are started. And you got college football, the game that sometimes when people get fed up, they start talking about, oh, I hate this game. I hate this game. Oh, God. But no, we're talking college football, the game we all loved. If you're a hardcore college fan, win or lose, since Bill Walsh college football, that you freaking love. What they need to fix is fix this loud super stadium music before you pick a play in college football 26. I'm going to go random formations right now from the shotgun and have a random defense from the 4-2-5. Now, the music stops when you do the plays, but let's discuss some of the changes. I know we're live on YouTube, and you can find that on Ray Ocho Ono's Workout Factory live. You will see the update of all the updates, title updates, and the changes. We're doing it in live form and on the podcast, the first. So here's what we got going on for the title update tomorrow, August 6th, Tiffany Poe's birthday. For gameplay, let's talk about coverages. Let's talk about what they changed. The hard, flat behavior. Defenders now stay closer to the line of scrimmage. Stay closer to the line and recognize swing routes as threats in the flat. Now, you notice when you do a swing route, we were getting that effect where, like, okay, what are you doing? Why are you playing 8 yards off? No more. They claim to fix that. And now, cover 2 Tampa, the middle defender now gets deeper. That is the Tampa 2. Tampa 2 defense, that is what they were known for, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When they made that run and beat the Raiders in the Super Bowl, they had that Tampa 2 defense. And that they were known, the Tampa 2 defense, the middle linebacker gets back deep. I mean, deep. So that's what we're going to be adjusted. I mean, that's what we're going to be looking for, the adjustments. And cover 3 match, including Buzz, Maple, and Zone Blitz 3, the logic improvements for defenders when reacting to slot receivers attempting to out-leverage the defense on deep routes. Now, what that means is when you have a trips formation, for instance, and you're in cover 3, let's say you're the slot middle receiver. The linebacker, which has the flats, the corner, which has the deep third, and the safety who has deep third, whenever you get that slot receiver trying to climb up on a, let's say, for instance, a dig or a shoot route, which is like a dig, you would get that animation where it's like he's struggling to get underneath the route. He knows he has the flat. He knows he has the logic to be under there. I mean, there's nobody else around, so that's who you're covering. You're not playing man, but you're playing zone. Now they have the AI and the wherewithal to guard that area and that player in that zone of their responsibility, if that makes any sense. Let's talk about cover 4, because a lot of people like to run cover 4, palms and all that kind of stuff. Cover 4 quarters against 3x1, 3x1, excuse me. And you know what that means. 3 receivers, 1 running back. Or 3 receivers trips to the left or right and 1 receiver by himself. Corners and safeties pick up the appropriate vertical threat to ensure that the number 3 is covered on deep routes. Do you know what I mean when I say that? I will get to that when I'll give you an example of that if they go cover 4. Okay. But what that means is they will cover the farthest inside receiver, but leave the middle receiver wide the fuck open. And there's no cause for that. And there's no excuse to be doing that, especially when you're in the right cover 4 and you're playing deep, fourths, quarters of the field. You know what I'm saying? So can't wait to see that. Now, let's move right along to the blocking, because blocking was to go back to that cover 4 deep stuff. Cover 4 palms and cover 6 corners won't press by default. The trip side reducing chances of a one-play. It reduces the chances of a one-play touchdown. And there's a lot of one-play touchdown plays that a lot of YouTubers are putting up. And, you get some of the cheesy players who just watch those videos and they copy all those plays and put them all into a playbook and call it Cheeseville. No more of that. No more of that. So they claim to fix that. That would be great if they did that, because now you're going to have to reinvent. Now you're going to have to go back to the drawing board. You got your playbook. You got all those glitchy plays in there, but hey, whoops. You gotta go back to the drawing board and see what works and get into there and start really playing some football. They're really trying to make it into a simulation football game, and that's what I love about EA Sports. We're gonna get to blocking in just 1 second. Blocking adjustments. Let's talk about pass block versus pass rush. Pre-play resolved issues where QB animations prevented players from making protection adjustments. Yep. Blocking the running back. Protection menu now closes automatically after making adjustments. You was having that problem too, where you will make an adjustment and the window will stay up and you're like, well, I can hike the ball. And you trying to bring everything down, and now you don't know if you adjusted or not. Well, that's fixed. Let's talk about some visual feedback from a fixed standpoint. Fixed the display issues where pass block lines after hot routing the halfback. Also, they kind of stayed on the screen. Also, the blocking logic enhancements means that they improve the recognition of stunts. You know how people was using that nickel, I forget what defense, but they would stunt the line into a Texas where you have the 2 outside, DN and the tackle stunning, and it would be an automatic A-gap blitz, but both players going in unmolested. And they came to fix that. So that's great. You can add the slide protection to protect that. Also, base protection is less effective against stunts. That's natural. You got to really read who the middle linebacker is, the Mike backer. Also, blockers are better at identifying late blitzers and avoiding premature handoffs that lead to free rushers. You notice when you run the plays as RPOs and you want to really hold it long, so you got a player that's really committing to the run, but then you want to pull it out and fire that ball to the outside because the linebacker commit. Well, now they fixed that, evidently. So that's going to be great. That's great. Great. Let's talk about pocket behavior. Pocket behavior tuning the decrease of likelihood of pass blockers staying in double teams unnecessarily. They reduce the frequency of illegal man's downfield, penalty. Illegal man downfield penalties. You know how you run that RPO? And, you know how you run that RPO and you get a lineman that creeps up the field because the quarterback holds it a tad bit too long? Well, they kind of tweaked that a little so you won't get it prematurely. Let's talk about edge rushers. Edge rushers are now better at recognizing when they are being out leveraged by a scrambling QB. You know, when a quarterback gets to the outside, now you're trying to really gain some speed, and instead of just cutting it up, now they recognize that, and they really take real smart angles to pursue the quarterback instead of taking those silly ones where the quarterback get outside untouched. And sometimes, you know, you got great athletes that do that, but, you know, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have, if you got a DN that's running like a 4.5, 4.4, there's no way you should get outran by a quarterback who's running a 4.5, 4.6. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad they fixed that, or they claim to have fixed that, so we're going to find out that's true. And let's talk about pocket behavior. Pocket behavior now, tuning is decreased for the likelihood of a pass blocker staying in double teams unnecessarily, you know. We reduced the frequency of illegal man downfield penalties. I already discussed that. Edge rushers now better at recognizing when they're being out leveraged. I already discussed that. Let's talk about difficulty tuning. Increased pass rush effectiveness on Heisman and All-American. Decreased pass rush effectiveness on lower difficulties. Okay. Let's talk about run blocking and run shedding. Okay, so when you targeting the fixes, this is what they resolved. They resolved where blockers missed or switched targets in open field, including on RPOs and core blocking schemes. Run game enhancements, they also added logic to allow users to be able to untarget defenders on run plays. Beautiful. Using the ID mic system, they also fixed bugs causing double teams to split slowly, preventing blockers from reaching the second level. Lead blockers' logic and halfback targeting in under center formations have been improved to target the biggest threat in the field, in the open field. Okay. And now engaging and shedding logic. Let's see what they fixed. They fixed where defenders leverage now appropriately, and they get more effective blocks and more effective outcomes. The defensive linemen shed blocks more realistically in short yardage situations. You know, they don't do that fake stuff no more. The edge players no longer disengage inside or take unrealistic inside angles. The reduced defenders control block steering interactions, animations and rating logic. Defenders with big ratings advantages now trigger super wins animations correctly. What we fixed in these issues were edge rushers didn't respond properly to scrambling QBs. We discussed that. So that's going to be great to see. Real great to see. Oh, God. As I run with the QB from Texas Tech, Morton. Now let's talk about general blocking animations in general. Okay, so they resolve multiple animation issues that cause failures to match engagements. Remember how you get frozen players and they get stuck when they get disengaged after you break away from, you know, the block. They just get stuck. You can't move them. The impact blocks was crazy, and animations playing in the wrong direction. Just a total clusterfuck. And they claim to fix that. So I can't wait to see that. And they also have made adjustments. Run fits and pursue. They tuned up or tuned in to improving the effectiveness of QB contain defenders versus play action bootlegs. So when you go play action, you know, they right up on you. They're not even falling for the fake. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing. All good things. Dropped it. Dropped the pass. Let's talk about playbooks. You know, I'm not going to go through everything, but let's talk about playbooks. Playbooks have been adjusted. You know the Wildcat, you know the flexbone, you know QB power swing, you know that play, you know it, you know the formation, you know the team that runs it, you know who all used to run it. They fixed that. It's no longer. Let's see. I want to run it again when they fix it to see if it's really effective. Are the players going to be smart? Are they going to go get the quarterback? Are they going to? Because I mean, you can stop it if you know which defense to pick. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. You're talking about the RPO QB power swing, where the quarterback delays, the running back swings into the flats, and either he can take off, the quarterback can take off up the middle, act like he's going to run up the middle, and then dump it to the receiver, or he can delay, run to the outside, and as soon as they commit to the quarterback, toss it up to the receiver, and there you go, touchdown. Well, big yards, 10 yards pretty much every play. They average about 12.6 yards per play. Also, They disabled playmaker flip on flexbone fullback dive to prevent broken handoffs. What they added was content to Army, Navy, Air Force, and option generic offenses, including new flexbone and wingback formations. Introduced as the Go-Go generic offense. Go-Go. Oh, yeah. Go-Go generic offense and expanded the Air Raid generic offense. Updated play call suggestions to avoid duplicate plays types in the same row. They've added goal line sets to UTSA and made single back spread default to 4 receivers. They fixed pitch man behavior on option plays and improved backside edge blocking on RPOs and play action. They synced play action bootlegs with their paired run and gave all play action walk plays inside zone fake blocking, improved deep POCO, which means post corner routes, better sell the post. That means they take a deeper dive inside on the post, get them to bite, and then head to the corner. Not just a 1-2 step to the post and then to the corner. That's great. Now they reduced the snap delay on reload and double mountain plays where the QB halfback swap. You know how you run that play where you're getting the mesh point with the running back, and it's like, damn, pull it out, pause. And you kick it out to the receiver. They fixed that. So I'm hoping you're enjoying some of these updates. I want you guys to stay tuned to part 2 of the update series. Big updates coming tomorrow. I know you can read it yourself. If you want to read these yourself, you just go over to EA Sports and look at the patch fix notes by the developers. I'd like to give a big shout out to EA Sports. This is not a sponsored video, but give a shout out to them. This is the podcast on Radio Chono Sports Show, and I'm bringing you more. We'll be back with part 2 later this afternoon. Before Radio Chono, I'm out.